Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into literally one of the greatest, highest stakes adventure stories ever told. We're talking ancient Egypt, unimaginable danger, mind-blowing miracles, and the ultimate rescue. Let's get right into it.
So picture this. What would you do if you were trapped between a giant ocean and an absolutely unstoppable army? Seriously, imagine being chased by a terrifying military force, and a massive, deep ocean is just completely blocking your escape. You can't go left, you can't go right, and, well, you definitely can't just swim across. It sounds completely impossible, right? But hey, that's exactly where this incredible story kicks off.
Okay, so the Israelites have just been freed from slavery in Egypt. Adonai, God, tells them to set up camp right by the edge of the sea. But meanwhile, up in his giant palace, the grumpy Pharaoh is watching all this unfold. And he's thinking, they're just wandering aimlessly in the desert. They're totally lost. So naturally, he hatches this super sneaky plan to trap them and drag them all back.
Yeah, Pharaoh has a massive, angry change of heart about letting them go. He's not just sending a couple of guards. No way. He brings 600, 600 of his absolute best, top-tier, super fast chariots. And as if that wasn't enough, he literally brings every other chariot in all of Egypt, plus his entire cavalry. Picture this massive force just charging through the desert, kicking up these huge, terrifying clouds of dust. Now, as this massive army gets closer, causing a terrifying rumble that literally shakes the ground, the Israelites look up. They see this unstoppable danger charging right at them, and, well, they absolutely panic. I mean, wouldn't you? They start crying out, totally convinced they're doomed. They are quite literally stuck between a mighty army and the deep blue sea. But while everyone else is completely freaking out, their leader, Moses, steps up. He acts incredibly brave here and delivers this amazing promise. Listen to this. Stop being so fearful, remain steady, and you will see how Adonai is going to save you. The Lord will fight for you. He's essentially promising them, hey, no need to panic because we have the ultimate protection on our side. So Adonai tells Moses to stretch his staff out over the water. And then, whoosh, God sends this roaring, super strong east wind that just blasts all night long. Think of this wind acting exactly like a giant invisible broom, literally sweeping the seawater apart and pushing it up into massive walls. It blows so incredibly hard that it completely dries up the muddy seafloor underneath. It makes it perfectly safe and perfectly dry to just walk right across. But wait, we can't forget the Egyptian army is still right behind them, ready to strike. So before the Israelites can even start crossing, this mysterious, glowing column of cloud moves right between the two camps. And here's the coolest part. On the Egyptian side, it brings total pitch black darkness. They can't move an inch. But on the Israelite side, it glows super bright, lighting up the entire night sky so that the escaping people can see exactly where they're going. With the path lit up, the people bravely advance right through the middle of the sea. Imagine this. You're walking on perfectly dry ground, but towering over you on your right and on your left are these massive glowing walls of water. It's basically like walking right through the middle of the world's most epic magical aquarium. Eventually, though, the cloud lifts, and that stubborn Egyptian army, they chase them right into the parted sea. But just before dawn, Adonai looks down and throws the entire army into absolute chaos. That perfectly dry ground suddenly turns treacherous and crack, snap. He completely breaks off their chariot wheels. The Egyptians suddenly realize they are in huge, huge trouble. They try to turn and run away, shouting out that God is literally fighting against them. But, it's way too late. Once the Israelites are safely on the other side, Moses reaches his hand out over the sea again, and whoosh, crash, those massive walls of water come tumbling right back down to their normal depth. The huge waves sweep the entire pursuing Egyptian army away. It completely covers all the chariots, the cavalry. Literally not even one single soldier is left behind. The Israelites are finally completely safe. Moving to our next section, clues at the bottom. Let's fast forward and see how this amazing event actually connects to a real-world mystery happening right now, deep at the bottom of the sea. Because get this, explorers have actively been searching for physical proof. This is where it gets super interesting.
The very first video and photo claims of ancient chariot wheels found in the Red Sea, specifically in the Gulf of Aqaba, were actually released by an amateur archaeologist named Ron Wyatt back in 1987. And since then, biblical archaeologists have even found ancient metal parts used in those chariots down there. Plus, modern explorers like Eric Lembeka have contributed to some wild new finds, discovering what appear to be fossilized bones belonging to humans and horses right in the area where the crossing happened. I mean, how cool is that? Section 14, Lessons of Courage. Because, you see, the really crucial takeaway from our explainer today isn't just the jaw-dropping rescue or those really cool underwater clues. It's about the powerful morals of Exodus 14 and what we can actually take away for our own lives. So here is some excellent food for thought to wrap up with. First up, faith over fear. Remember how the Israelites panicked when they were trapped? Well, fear paralyzes us, but learning to trust in God's deliverance during completely impossible situations brings real peace. Second, God fights for you. Ultimate salvation and protection come from God, not from our own human effort or frantic panic. Third, and I love this one, faith requires action. While God fought the battle, he specifically told Moses to have the Israelites move on. Trusting God means we still have to bravely take those obedient steps forward. And finally, divine sovereignty and justice. This whole epic story proves that God has absolute power, protects the oppressed, and will always bring justice against oppressors. So, the next time you feel completely trapped by an impossible situation, ask yourself, are you going to let fear hold you back, or will you boldly take that step forward in faith? Think about it. Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe.